this was about what I expected as a race. I mean, I feel like it was I said it to you. I feel like it was a hybrid between like a 2019 like high downforce, low horsepower, and then between like last year when we had the big motor small
Well,
play. I feel like it was
that was
like in
high
between.
downforce, high horsepower.
You whatever. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. It was 3 years ago. Um, the shitty 2019 package and then the good 2021. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it was a hybrid of both. You couldn't fucking pass anybody, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It wasn't good though.
I mean, yeah, it was a better race than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I was anticipating Martinsville Part 2, and
See, I knew that wasn't going to be the case. I just figured we'd at least Martinsville for the most part is a one groove track. I mean, yeah, we see it sometimes open up where you can run the top, but it it's Bristol. There's at least a couple grooves, especially when they put down the PJ1. So then you had the top and the bottom, and surprisingly, it rubbered up. So I mean,
yeah,
I figured there'd be at least two grooves. It's just a matter of
I just figured the top was going to be so overpowered that you wouldn't be able to really make any ground on the bottom. And
yeah,
it turned out you could make some ground on the bottom. Eventually, it was faster for the most part. You had to stick with it. You had to be really patient. And
yeah, to not fuck it up like Kevin Harvick did trying to pass Chris Buescher
yeah, but
every time.
so that part at the very least, I was able to get some enjoyment out of that, watching guys be able to eventually make the pass on the bottom. I mean, watching Bell all night was pretty fun because that car really turned through the bottom or
There's
through
a lot
on the
there's a
bottom.
lot of Harvicking, a lot of Harvicking.
There was a lot of Harvicking, yeah.
Yeah, we hadn't seen that in Bristol in a while. Um,
The fun part to me too was when guys would make a pass on the bottom, they would have to run the outside the next time to keep that
yeah,
momentum. I thought that was cool because you'd see a guy like not do it one time, get passed again, and then finally get the pass done again and learn from that and do it. So there were some little nuances to this race that made it somewhat enjoyable, at least from the infield. Um, I don't know. I'm sure that didn't translate very well on TV, but I don't
yeah,
know. There are a lot more people than I thought calling this race good. I'm surprised it has a 60% rating or whatever it has on Gluck's poll. Like, this was not a very good race.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's the problem with it is lap traffic at Bristol. When you have a car that creates dirty air at such a short track, and you don't have enough off throttle time um, to kind of fix that or overcome that. It when lap traffic comes into play, it really doesn't matter that you have two grooves because you're going to run into either lap traffic or the guy you're racing, and it's going to make it hard for you to move forward. That was a lot of the problem with Kevin. That's why we only had what? How many change passes for the lead did we have?
I think we counted five,
We counted
counting.
five, and two or three of those were just because guys blew tires.
Yeah.
So I just yeah, it was not good. It was better. Like I feel like it was better than you expected. It was about what I expected. It was frustrating because, like for instance, when we were up in the stands for stage two, and Harvick was trying to pass Chris Buescher, it was frustrating because he would run. We knew he could not get within a car length of Buescher unless he ran the bottom, and even then, it was so tough because every time he'd run the bottom, get a good run through there, they run up on lap traffic or something like that. And it was the same thing with when Larson was trying to run down whoever he was trying to run down.
Kyle Busch.
But no, when he was
Talking about,
going for the lead.
oh,
Bell,
Bell, I
whoever,
think.
whoever. Yeah, I mean, it was so tough to you couldn't break that bubble, and that's just it's frustrating to watch at Bristol of all places because we know Bristol's potential, and I, we got to change. Denny Hamlin said we need next gen 2.0, but he doesn't know who's going to pay for it. I don't think we need a complete overhaul, but they know how to fix it. They just haven't.
There are three obvious ways to fix this. There's tire wear. There's no reason that you should be able to run over 100 laps on either a set of tires or half a set of tires or whatever at Bristol.
Yeah,
There's no
Brad ran
reason
the
for it.
first the whole first stage on the same set of tires,
Yeah.
125 laps.
There's no reason for that. There's no reason we can't just take the bottom plate off. Like, I don't see any reason we can't do that, or at least make one that's just smooth at the back.
My idea was like you can keep the bottom plate, but make the diffuser a separate part that just kind of screws in and is flush. That way you can just take the diffuser off and attach something else or put something else there. Like in that way, at these tracks, it would just be as simple as okay, I have a diffuser, I have diffusers, or I have the other piece, the short track or road course piece.
Well, why would it be any less complicated to just not have it? Why would it be any more complicated to just not have it?
Not have what?
The whole part. Because then it's just the underbody of a cup car that we've had for a long time, for the most part.
Yeah, I just feel like I feel like it's yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a little bit more that's a little bit more involved than maybe we think it is. I feel like taking the whole underbody off, where it's just taking the diffuser off.
Next time we see Rick Ware, we can ask him.
Yeah, there we go.
And then the third
shout out to Daddy Rick. Anyway, go ahead.
Shout out to Daddy Rick. The third thing and the most obvious thing is there's no reason we should have lowered horsepower again before the new motor. Because we see with Xfinity, they run about what Cup runs as far as horsepower goes. They don't have these issues of on throttle time the whole the whole or whatever it was 90% of the lap at Bristol. So there's no reason we should have done that. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, I mean, at least in a way, we gotta be grateful that we got the horsepower we got because we were about to not have it, and then.
Well, this was what we were always going to have at short tracks.
Oh, was it? It was all. Was it?
It was going to be 670 at tracks under a mile and a half.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I didn't remember. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying because I know you said like, why don't we just raise it to like 1,000 and then we're not getting any new OEMs for a while, so we explained to them we got to do this for racing product, but I feel like that's smarter people and more business-minded people than us will probably have a better reasoning for why that's not a thing. But yeah, no, I don't understand why we can't up the horsepower. I don't understand why we can't take the tapered spacer off for short tracks or something. I don't know, something needs to change in the motor department, the tire department, and the underbody department. Those are the main three things. And also shifting, which we didn't see that at Bristol, which thank God. But I think tracks like Phoenix and like why are we shifting on road courses? I don't understand. But no, tracks like Phoenix and Martinsville and Richmond and shit like more like tracks like Martinsville, especially where else are we shifting? Gateway. Think these flatter tracks.
New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's like we don't need to be fucking shifting. Like it's fucking overkill.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they have something in the works for the short track package. Sounds like there were minimal changes made to the Martinsville during the Martinsville test. Rumor has it probably going to be worse race than it was. the spring. I don't know how, but
Ugh.
yeah, they
How?
apparently they basically made it to where the cars are closer together in speeds. So
Oh, that's
yeah, I don't know.
why don't they just put a restrictor plate on it and we could have wide open Martinsville racing? be
Wide open
mild,
Martin.
be mildly more entertaining than we have
Yeah,
currently.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Say a prayer, um, read your tarot cards, whatever you believe in. Just put some respect on Martinsville.